Greetings, everybody. Today I'm going to present my master topic, the human immune system. Without further ado, let's dive in. So, what is an immune system? It is the mechanism that protects one's bodies from all potential harms. When it functions properly, it can identify the threats such as viruses, bacteria, separate them from healthy tissue, and destroy these problems. Here are some organs that involve in the immune system. Although there seems to be a lot of them, some of them are repeated. I will introduce them from the top to the bottom. We will begin with tonsils and adenoids. They are the first defense for the human body. It verifies the bacteria and viruses that we take or breathe in. They are actually just soft tissues that locate around our mouths, as you can see on the diagram. The adenoids are also called pharyngeal tonsils. The tissue of these organs are immunocompetent. Immunocompetence means the ability to generate an immune response after exposing to an antigen. An antigen is going to be any substance that can induce the response, such as bacteria. The next organs are lymph nodes. They are small, bean-shaped organs. These nodes produce and store white blood cells. They also contain lymph. Lymph is a transparent fluid that carries white blood cells to different parts of the body. They become interstitial once sent to their location. They are not visible until they are infected. Lymph nodes will enlarge and patients will feel sore when the node is inflamed. As you can see on the diagram, lymph nodes are located in more than one place. It is because lymph nodes are regional and it represents different problems when they get inflammatory. The bottom right diagram presents the regions that each node is in. Let's move on to the next organ, lymph vessels. They are similar to blood vessels, except they carry lymph instead of blood. Lymph vessels serve as a filter, as they collect and filter lymph before sending them into the blood circulation. The reason to move lymph into the blood is to regulate the blood volume and pressure to an ordinary level, and also prevent edema. Edema is the condition where too much fluid stays between tissues. It could prevent lymph from going to other body parts that is in need. Next, we are going to talk about thymus. Thymus is where the T cells mature, which we will talk about it later. It locates between your heart and lungs. It is the factory that generates antibodies. Antibodies are large proteins that look like a capital Y. They are created to identify foreign cells and substances and neutralizes them afterwards. I've included a video that showcases how it is done. Moreover, thymus is an interesting organ. It is quite big when we are children and continually to grow until puberty. It then begins to shrink and will be replaced by fat when we get older. It gets the name because the shape of this organ looks like a thyme leaf. Here I include a picture of thyme leaf at the bottom right and I will let you decide if they are similar. After thymus, we will move on to spleen, the biggest lymphatic organ which is next to your stomach. This organ is divided into two regions, red and white pulp. The red pulp is a blood storage that sends blood to any parts of the body if that region does not have enough blood. The white pulp is another place that produces white blood cells and antibodies. The spleen also takes care of old and damaged blood cells. Following the diagram that I showed at the beginning, the next organ is Peyer's patches. These small organs are little things that can only be found in a region called ileum in the small intestine. They are the monitors that overwatch the population of bacteria in the area, and when a dangerous antigen is present, it quickly triggers the production of white blood cells and antibodies before the threat can spread out in the intestine. The organ near Peyer's patches is the appendix. It is an extension from the bottom end of the large intestine. That region is called the right iliac region. Appendix is also called vermiform appendix, as it resembles the look of a worm. Although it's indicated as one of the organs in the immune system, its function is still under investigation. An hypothesis is raised that it stores the bacteria that benefits a human when he is sick. Bacteria can stay in the body because the appendix prevents them from being flushed out from the body. Consequently, when a person is sick, these bacteria can help him to recover in a faster rate. Bone marrow is the lowest organ in the beginning diagram. It is located in the center of bones and usually within flat bones, such as hip bone and breastbones. It contains two types of stem cells. One produces blood cells, while the other produces fats, cartilage, and bone. The organ is red in color at first and will soon turn yellow as we age because of the higher amounts of fat within it and the fat we consume. It serves as a primary support of white blood cells, especially lymphocytes, in the immune system. We have covered all organs involved in the immune system. Now let's move on to the cells that serve in the immune system. Leukocytes, also known as the white blood cells, are the soldiers that defend our bodies. The main duty of them is to distinguish and destroy pathogens. They are important to the innate immune system too. Innate immune system is a subsystem of the overall immune system that refers to non-specific defense mechanisms that prevent harms to invade a person's body. Skins, chemicals in the blood, cells that attack foreign cells in the body are examples of the system. There is another system called adaptive immune system, which is a subsystem. It has cells which are highly specialized for certain threats and processes that eliminate pathogens or prevent their growth. Lymphocytes is one of the examples. Lymphocytes are divided into two subgroups, the B cells and the T cells. B cells produce antibodies to attack bacteria and viruses when receiving an immune response, and they are mature in bone marrow. In addition, some B cells will transform into memory B cells. This type of B cells remember the types of viruses that they once dealt with and can survive for a longer time. Until the same threat happens again, these B cells can get rid of them immediately. The T cells, on the other hand, develop in the thymus, as mentioned before, and within this subgroup, there are several small groups of cells that has different roles. The killer T cells, obviously, destroy the bacteria and viruses, and the helper T cells help to distinguish the immune response given to different types of viruses and will divide themselves rapidly in order to facilitate the process. There is also a regulatory T cells that manage helper T cells. It is because too much helpers could result in numerous damage to tissue and can cause inflammatory and autoimmune disease, while too less helpers might lead to infection chronically. After talking about the cells in the immune system, I'm going to talk about some possible diseases that will happen in the immune system. Allergy, which is also called allergic disease, is one of the possible health issues caused by the immune system. It is discovered that the disease is led by an extreme sensitivity of the immune system to something that might have little or no harm at all. The detail is when these substances enter the system, it somehow triggers an immune response of inflammatory and thus resulted in the form of allergy. Examples of allergy are food allergies, allergic asthma, hay fever. Symptoms of it are common, such as itchy rash, running nose, red eyes. On the other hand, lupus is another kind of disease that caused by the immune system. This time, the disease happens when the immune system attacks its own healthy tissues mistakenly. The symptoms of this health problem are hair loss, fever, red rash on patient's face. This will be the end of my presentation. Thanks for watching.